Chesterfield brings you Dragnet.
Put a smile in your smoking.
By Chesterfield. Smoother. Cooler. Best for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. The owner of a small delicatessen reports that he's been robbed. He says the thief casually walked out of his store and disappeared. Your job? Find him.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember this. In the whole wide world, no cigarette satisfies like Chesterfield.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Instantly, you'll smile your approval of Chesterfield's smoothness.
So smooth, so satisfying.
You want them mild. We make them mild. Mild and mellow, with the smooth and refreshing taste of the right combination of the world's best tobaccos. So next time you buy cigarettes,
stop. Start smoking with a smile with Chesterfield. Smiling all the while with Chesterfield. Put a smile in your smoking, just give 'em a try. Light up a Chesterfield, they satisfy.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Sunday, October 9th. It was overcast in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief Detective Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from communications. It was 3:48 p.m. when I got to room 27A. Robbery. I got it. Robbery, Friday. Yeah, just a second. Give me that pad, man.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, please. All right, I have it. What happened? How long ago? All right. Right away. Thank you. Guy came into a delicatessen over on Sunset. Took out a pretty big order.
Yeah?
Sack full of money. 4:15 p.m. Frank and I drove out to a small combination delicatessen and grocery on the corner of Sunset and 3rd. The owner of the store, Mr. Paul Claypool, told us that the robbery had taken place approximately 20 minutes earlier. He said that the patrol car officer who had answered his call had left to make an immediate search for the suspect.
Gave a real good description, I did.
Yes, sir, you said that.
Kept my wits about me. All the time that young hoodlum was in the store, I was studying him. Didn't let him catch on, of course, but I was making mental notes.
I wonder if you'd tell us just what happened, Mr. Claypool.
How's that?
Well, we'd like to hear about the robbery right from the beginning.
Oh, checking up on me, huh?
Sir?
Making sure I give you the same story I gave that other cop.
Oh, no, sir, that's not the idea.
I told him everything there was to tell.
Well, we'd like to hear it, too, that's all.
You ain't going to hear nothing different from what he did.
Well, would you tell us anyway?
Well, if that's how you want it. This here crook fella came walking into my store, big as life. That's how it begun.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 20 minutes ago, was it?
Oh, might be 21 or 2, but now it depends on how long you've been talking to me.
Yes, sir.
What did he say when he came in?
Bandit fella?
That's right.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. That's what he said. Not a single solitary word.
I see.
Didn't even open his mouth. Just handed me an envelope.
Yeah?
Sealed it was. Sealed up shut.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Struck me as being kind of peculiar.
What do you mean?
Well, lots of my customers bring in lists of things they're supposed to buy. They don't seal them in no envelope, though.
I see.
My instinct sure was right. It wasn't no grocery list. It was far from it.
Is that so?
Note inside. Hand-printed it was.
I see.
Want to know what it said?
Well, that would be nice, yes, sir.
Take all of the money out of the cash register, put it in a paper bag, and hand it over.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't all. You want to hear the rest?
If you would, please.
Don't do any talking. Don't try to stop me. If you do, I'll kill you. That was the end of it.
Do you still have this note, Mr. Claypool?
Right over there. It's laying on the register.
Wonder if we could see it, please.
Well, that's up to you, I guess. Other cops said I wasn't to handle it on account of fingerprints.
Well, we'll try to be careful with it.
Help yourself. Ain't my place to take no chances on destroying valuable evidence.
Yes, sir.
Well, had it right, didn't it? Word for word.
Yes, sir, you sure did.
After you read this note, what'd you do, Mr. Claypool?
I done just what it said.
You gave him the money from the register.
That's right. Put in a paper bag, a number 8.
What's that, sir?
8. That was the size of the bag.
Oh. How much money did you give him?
All there was, a neighborhood of $50.
Most of it in bills?
Most, I'd say. A couple of 10s, 3 or 4 5s, some 1s. Rest was change.
All right. What happened next?
Fella took the bag, kind of grinned, and walked out. Looked real pleased with himself.
Did you see where he went?
Left the store.
Yes, sir. I mean, after that.
Turned down the street.
Did you get into a car?
I didn't see none.
You didn't try to follow him?
Nope. I didn't aim to stick out my neck none. Figured that was up to you fellas.
That's right.
Now, Mr. Claypool, do you know if the robber had a gun?
Must have.
Did you see it?
Nope. But that there note said he'd kill me if I gave him any trouble.
Yes, sir.
Must have had a gun if he aimed to kill me. Well, stands to reason.
Yes, sir.
Was there anybody else in here when he came in?
Just me. I don't do much business this time of the afternoon, and not on Sunday. I don't.
Had you ever seen this man before?
Nope, not that I recollect.
I wonder if you could describe him for us.
Oh, sure. I told you I gave him a real good once-over.
Yes, sir.
First off, he was a young fella, right around 20, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Husky, about 5'10", maybe weighs 170. Not fat, you understand. He's just husky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about his coloring?
Well, I'm coming to that.
Yes, sir.
Brown hair, medium brown. Kind of gray eyes, medium complexion.
Any marks or scars?
No.
How was he dressed?
Pants, dark-colored, serge, more than likely. Blue serge. They looked like they was part of a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't see his shirt. He had on a sweater, yellowish with one of them collars that chokes you.
What's that?
Fits all around your neck, you see, like so. See?
Turtleneck sweater?
Oh, is that what you call it?
Yes, sir.
Turtleneck, huh? Well, that's a right good name. That's just what it looks like. Turtle poking out his neck.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else you can tell us about this man?
What have you got in mind?
Well, Mr. Claypool, anything that would help us identify him.
Well, sir, he acted real funny, almost like he didn't know what he was doing.
Oh?
Kind of looked at me funny, too. Don't know how to put it into words exactly.
Yes, sir.
Wonder if you'd come down to City Hall for a few minutes, Mr. Claypool.
City Hall?
Yes, sir. We'd like to show you some mug shots, see if you can make an identification for us.
Well, that'd mean closing up the store.
Well, it won't take very long.
Well, I guess it'll help catch this fellow.
We'd appreciate it.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Claypool's Delicatessen. How's that? Who? Friday?
That's for us, sir.
Oh. Here you are.
Thank you. This Friday. Yeah, that's right. How long ago? Fountain? Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Well, we won't need you downtown just yet, Mr. Claypool.
Change your mind, huh?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
Flower shop over on Fountain.
Yeah.
Sounds like the same guy. Frank and I told Mr. Claypool we'd check with him later. We left the delicatessen and drove out to the Pringer Flora shop on Fountain and Selma. 4:42 p.m., we talked to the victim, Miss Norma Devereaux. She seemed to be extremely agitated. She told us that a man had walked into the store about 4:30 and gave her a sealed envelope. She showed us the note the envelope had contained, and it appeared to be a duplicate of the note Mr. Claypool had been given.
Did this man say anything to you, Miss Devereaux?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Well, did you say anything to him?
Oh, I was too scared.
Yes, ma'am.
How much money did he take?
Well, I gave him all there was, everything in the register.
I see, but about how much would you say?
I'm not sure. You see, I don't work here. I was just helping out.
Mm-hmm.
The store belongs to my sister and brother-in-law.
I see.
They wanted to take their children for a ride this afternoon, so I said I'd look after the shop.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I never should have offered. I might have known something like this would happen. I've had a funny feeling all day long.
Is that right?
It's a bad week for me anyway, this whole week.
Huh?
According to my horoscope.
Oh.
And you don't have any idea how much money was stolen, Miss Devereaux?
Well, I don't think it was very much. A few bills and some coins.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know what day this is? The date, I mean?
Yes, ma'am. This is the 9th.
The 9th. Oh, I might have known. She said to be especially careful on the 9th and the 11th. Why didn't I pay more attention to that last reading? It certainly cost me enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Devereaux, you noticed where this man went when he left the shop?
What?
Did you notice where he went?
Oh, no. I didn't pay any attention. I was just so relieved that he was gone.
What if you describe him for us, please?
Well,
Miss Devereaux?
I'm trying to think.
Yes, ma'am.
It just comes up a blank. His face, everything about him.
Well, how's he dressed?
I'm terribly sorry. I just can't remember.
Well, maybe we can help you. Was he wearing a coat or a sweater?
That's right. A sweater. I remember the sweater.
Mm-hmm. What color was it?
Lightish, I think. I'm not sure.
What kind of a sweater? Would you recall that?
Just a sweater, I guess.
How about his hair? Eyes? Anything at all, Miss Devereaux?
Well, there's one thing. I don't know whether it would do any good or not.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like such a fool not being able to remember where it was or when, but I'm almost certain about it.
What's that?
That I've seen him before.
Frank and I continued to question the victim. She insisted that she had met or seen the suspect sometime before the crime, but she was unable to recall the circumstances. 5:38 p.m., we drove both victims down to the city hall and asked them to go through the mug books for the purpose of identifying the suspect.
Well, we finished another book, Sergeant.
Yes, ma'am.
Seems like you sure have enough of them.
Yes, sir.
If I could only think where it was.
Ma'am?
That I saw him before.
Yes.
Did I get you folks some coffee?
That sounds like a right good idea.
How about you, miss?
What?
Would you like some coffee, too? Miss Devereaux.
That's it. That's it. I remember now. His face, everything about him. It's the same man. I'm positive it is.
Oh?
It was when you mentioned coffee. That's what brought it back to me.
Yes, ma'am. Now, just when was it you saw this man?
Oh, let's see. It was last week when I went shopping for a new coat. Tuesday. Yes, that's when it was. Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was having lunch. The Fairway Cafeteria in Hollywood.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it was crowded, and I was sitting alone. He came by and asked if he could use the same table.
All right, go ahead.
I nodded, and he sat down. I didn't pay any attention to him. Not really. I just went on and finished my lunch. He was still eating when I left.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you can tell us about him?
I think he had on the same clothes he was wearing today, the sweater anyway. I remember the sweater, real plain now.
I see. Now, you're sure this was the same man who robbed you?
Oh, yes, I know it was.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help, won't it? My remembering where I saw him?
Well, it might.
I'll bet he eats there all the time, at that same cafeteria.
Yes, ma'am. We'll check on that.
Oh, he does. I just feel certain of it. You'll see, Sergeant. It was fate that made me go into that restaurant, and it was fate that made him sit at my table.
Yes, ma'am.
It was all part of a big plan. Our meeting like that, and then him robbing me today. It was all part of a big plan so that you could catch him.
Yes, that's right.
And you will catch him. Don't you worry about that. You'll catch him. Fate's against him.
Well, that makes us even then, doesn't it?
What?
So are we. Now that she remembered seeing the suspect before, Miss Devereaux confirmed Paul Claypool's description. We asked the victims to continue going through the mug books. They were unable to come up with an identification. 6:31 p.m., Frank and I drove them home, and we went off duty. The next day, October 10th, 10:05 a.m., we interviewed the day cashiers at the Fairway Cafeteria. They couldn't recall any specific customer who answered the suspect's description. 11:46 a.m., we went back to the office. Robbery Friday. Yeah, Larry. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks anyway. Right. Sloan.
Yeah?
Says he can't give us a lead from the way those notes were printed.
Oh?
Well, how about an early lunch today, huh?
It's all right with me.
Where do you want to go?
Well, I don't care. How about you?
Doesn't make any difference to me.
Well, suggest someplace.
No, I told you it doesn't make any difference.
Well, I don't know why it always has to be up to me, Joe.
Hmm?
Where we eat. Why don't you decide once in a while?
All right, fine. Let's go to that new Chinese place on Broadway.
For lunch?
Well, why not?
Well, you don't want Chinese food for lunch, Joe.
I don't. Huh?
Of course not.
Well, what do you got in mind?
I might have known.
Hmm?
I'd end up making the choice.
Sure is a problem, isn't it?
Well, it gets kind of monotonous, that's all, buddy.
Well, it's tough.
Say,
Yeah, something we can do for you?
is this here where you the guys that handle robberies?
Yeah, that's right.
Like them two yesterday?
Which two?
Grocery store and flower shop?
You know something about them, do you?
Yeah, I know something.
Well, just what is it?
Who robbed them? I know who it was.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was me.
Put a smile in your smoking. Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember this. It's today's biggest cigarette news.
Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray.
The Accuray controller is the greatest improvement in cigarette making in years, and it's a Chesterfield exclusive. This amazing quality detective electronically checks and controls the making of your Chesterfield, giving a uniformity in smoking quality never possible before. So buy Chesterfield today. For the first time, you get a perfect smoke column from end to end.
A perfect smoke column from end to end.
From the first puff to the last puff, your Chesterfield smokes smoother. From the first puff to the last puff, your Chesterfield smokes cooler.
From the first puff to the last puff, Chesterfield is best for you.
Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember,
Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray.
Put a smile in your smoking, just give 'em a try. Light up a Chesterfield, they satisfy.
The man who had come into the office answered the description we'd received from the victims. He was in his early 20s, stocky build, about 5'10", brown hair and gray eyes. He was wearing dark blue trousers and a yellow turtleneck sweater. He told us that his name was Harvey Tilden and that he lived in a rooming house on West Ivar. He readily admitted the 2 robberies, but he insisted that he had not meant to commit the crimes.
I didn't know what I was doing, that's all. I just didn't know.
Well, what are you trying to sell us? Were you drunk?
Of course not. I hadn't had a drink, not even a beer.
Well?
Well, he told me it was money they owed, that I was collecting it for him.
Who told you that?
Stoney.
Who's Stoney?
Well, that's all I know him by, Stoney.
And you were collecting money for him, is that it?
Uh-huh.
And you expect us to buy that, too, don't you?
No, I guess not.
Well, then why don't you try giving us the truth?
Well, look, now, may I'm not the brightest guy in the world. If I was, I wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah.
I come to you of my own accord, didn't I?
Well, maybe you got scared. Maybe you figured it'd go easier with you if you gave yourself up. Isn't that it?
Yeah, I guess I can't blame you for thinking that. Sure was a dumb trick.
Well, why'd you do it then?
Because I didn't know, because he told me it was just a job I was doing.
Mm-hmm. Stoney told you.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's hear it your way.
Yeah, well, he said he worked for a kind of collection agency, you know, where they go after them deadbeats, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he said he had to have somebody to help him, only part-time, but the pay would be good.
Yeah.
Offered me the work.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't had a steady job lately. Sound kind of good to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to meet him yesterday afternoon, 3 o'clock. He picked me up in front of the place where I live.
Yeah?
Drove me past that grocery store and parked around the corner there, gave me an envelope, and he told me to take it inside, hand it to a fellow who worked there. He said I was to make sure nobody else was in the store on account of he didn't want to make the old guy feel bad by collecting the debt in front of somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
So I done what he told me. I give the old guy the note, he give me the money, and I took it back to Stoney.
Well, where was he while you were in the store?
Well, around the corner, like I said.
Why didn't he go in with you?
He wanted to see if I could handle it myself, on my own, you know. That's what he told me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we drove over to that there flower place.
Same routine.
Yeah, only this time I got kind of suspicious, you know.
Yeah.
She acted so scared, the lady there. It didn't seem to me that having to pay up a debt would make somebody so scared. I told Stoney afterwards. He said it was just an act that they all put on like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I didn't exactly believe him, so next place we stopped, I opened up the envelope before I went inside, and I read that there note.
Yeah, well?
Well, I didn't know what to do. Finally, I went back to the car, and I really told him off, Stoney. I told him I wasn't no thief. I told him he had to return all that money.
What did he say?
He just laughed at me. He said I was the biggest pigeon he ever met. I said if he didn't take back the dough, I'd go to the cops. He told me you'd throw me in jail, that you'd never believe a word I told you.
Mm-hmm. What happened then?
I got out of the car. I said I wasn't no crook and nobody was going to make me be one.
Mm-hmm.
I was heading right for the police station, then I got to thinking. I seemed like maybe he was right, that nobody would believe a story like this.
Yeah.
So I went home.
All right, why'd you come in today?
Well, I didn't sleep none too good last night. It was kind of worrying me what I'd done. I figured maybe he'd find some other sucker like me and pull that same stunt over again. I didn't want him to get away with it, so I decided to take my chances on you guys. I'm going to get a short count now, am I?
You know where the Stoney lives?
No, he never said, not to me.
And you don't know his last name either?
Well, where'd you meet him?
Hentley's gym. Or on Olympic. I hang out there sometimes.
You a fighter?
Oh, I had some bouts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how'd you and Stoney get acquainted?
Oh, I don't know. We just started talking one day last week. He come in for a steam bath, and afterwards we was both watching some of the guys work out.
I see.
He was there again on Saturday. That's when he offered me this job.
Mm-hmm. What kind of a car does he drive?
Chevy.
Sedan?
No, coupe, hardtop, last year's model.
You know the license?
No, I don't pay no attention. It wouldn't matter if it did. I ain't much at remembering things.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what Stoney looks like?
Yeah, why, he's a big fella, sharp dresser.
How old is he?
35, maybe 40.
What color's his hair?
Sort of red.
Anything else? Scars, anything like that?
No.
That's the whole story, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't know you were robbing those stores? You didn't have any idea?
Honest, I didn't. Sounds crazy, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
Joe, talk to you for a minute.
Yeah. You wait right there, Tilden.
Yeah, okay.
You must think we're pretty done, expecting us to fall for a line like that.
Yeah.
What's he take us for?
I don't know.
Couldn't be true, not a word of it.
Yeah.
Heck of it is.
Yeah.
Such a darn fool story, Joe. I just can't help believing it.
I'm a lure. So do I. Frank and I continued to interrogate the suspect. He maintained his innocence, and we were unable to shake him. We ran the name Harvey Tilden through R&I. They had nothing on him. We also ran the name Stoney through the moniker file, and we came up with two possibles. We pulled the mug shots and showed them to Tilden. He tentatively identified one of the photos, James Brightstone, but he wasn't positive. We telephoned Brightstone's last known address, a small downtown hotel. They told us he'd moved during the summer, and they had no idea of his present whereabouts. We checked DMV and our own vehicle records. They reported that a late model Chevrolet was registered in Brightstone's name. Harvey Tilden was held in custody for further questioning. 4:08 p.m. Frank and I drove over to Hentley's gym on South Olympic and talked to the owner, George Hentley.
What's right?
Stoney.
Yeah, that's right. Full name maybe James Brightstone. We're not sure.
Now move away.
Don't ring a bell. He in a fight game?
Well, we aren't sure.
How about a Harvey Tilden? You know him?
That jerk? Sure, I know.
He come here pretty often?
Off and on. Used to do a little boxing. Had a perfect record. 6 fights, 6 KOs. He was punchy before he ever got in a ring.
Tilden says this is where he met this Stoney.
That could be.
Take a look at this picture, will you? You ever seen this guy before?
Hey, you got a left hand, use it.
Well?
You know, I wouldn't swear to it. Guy looks something like this. Been coming in lately. Works out, takes a steam bath.
You know his name?
I never asked.
You been around today?
No, not so far.
When was the last time, do you remember?
End of last week, Friday, Saturday.
You talking to Tilden?
Oh, I don't know, maybe. Guys come in here, friendly type guys. They all talk to each other.
All right, here's our card.
So?
If this fella comes back, give us a call, will you?
Hey, you want him for something?
We want to talk to him.
Okay, if he comes in, I'll call you.
Thanks.
Sure, I'm a real obliging type fella. I got no beef with you cops. Be a waste of time, though. Calling you. If you want to see this guy, all you got to do is turn around.
What's that?
He just walked in the door.
Frank and I talked to the man George Hentley had pointed out. He readily admitted that he was James Brightstone. He also admitted knowing Harvey Tilden. He said he had spent the previous afternoon in his room at the Jackman Hotel. We telephoned the hotel, but the clerk was unable to confirm Brightstone's alibi. 5:31 p.m. We drove the suspect down to the city hall and continued our interrogation.
Look, why don't you guys just tell me what it is you want to know, spell it out in real big letters, and I'll give you the answer, same size.
Where were you yesterday afternoon?
Thought we already covered that.
Let's go over it again.
Okay, boys, I was in my hotel room.
Well, the clerk doesn't back you up.
Well, does he say I wasn't there?
When was the last time you saw Harvey Tilden?
Saturday over at the gym.
Not yesterday, huh?
Gym isn't open on Sundays.
You know where Tilden lives?
Nope.
You picked him up at his rooming house yesterday, didn't you?
Why would I be picking a crumb up like that?
Did you offer Tilden a job?
Oh, that's pretty funny.
What's the joke?
I ain't got a job myself.
Did you ever take Tilden for a drive?
Boys, I'm telling you, the only place I ever seen the guy is Hentley's gym.
Yeah. He knows what kind of a car you got.
Oh?
Make and model.
Well, maybe he's seen me in it. I didn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, this Tilden fella, he's a screwball. He don't even know what time it is. Whatever he told you, you can forget it.
Well, there are a couple of things we can't forget.
Yeah?
Tilden says you put him up to robbing 2 stores yesterday.
Are you kidding?
He says you hired him to work for you, to collect some past due bills.
Boy, this kid is really off his rocker, isn't he?
Maybe.
Where was I supposed to be while he was doing me these favors?
Outside in your car waiting for him.
Go on, boys. You interest me.
Well, that's about it.
And you'd pick up a guy in a phony story like that? Hey, look, I'm getting out of here. Tilden ain't the only guy who's nuts.
Sit down, Brightstone.
All right, you jokers, prove any part of it.
We're going to try to.
I'd like to know how.
We got a team out right now checking the neighborhood of both robberies. If anybody saw your car around those stores yesterday afternoon, you got trouble.
I got news for you guys. It don't matter where I was yesterday. You can't tie me into these jobs.
We'll see.
Matter of fact, I'll give you a hand. I might have been driving around those stores yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah, come to think of it, I went for a ride along about 2 o'clock. Slipped my mind before.
Sure.
Not that I know where Tilden pulled his heist.
You don't, huh?
Sure, of course not.
Then what makes you think you were in the vicinity?
Well, I'm not saying I was. I'm saying I might have been.
Yeah.
Just where were you?
Who knows? It took me a real long drive.
What time did you leave your hotel?
2 o'clock, maybe?
What time did you get back?
Later.
How much later?
All right. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you guys a break.
Good.
Now, I know you can keep this up for 72 hours, and I got more important things to do, so let's get it over with, okay?
That's entirely up to you.
Okay. Tilden was giving it to you square. He was just a pigeon. Dumbest pigeon I ever ran into.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's it. You got it now. What are you going to do about it?
What do you think?
Oh, if you're smart, you're going to turn me loose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, let me give you a little advice, free. So Tilden was a fall guy, all right? I admit it to you guys.
Yeah.
But to nobody else. Anybody else asks me, I deny it, the whole thing. So you might as well play smart. You figure on sticking me with this rap, you got to have a signed confession. I ain't going to give it to you.
Well, now, maybe we won't need it.
Boy, you got the biggest rocks in your head. Tilden was in those stores, I wasn't. He took the money, I didn't. You go into court, you come out looking dumber than he does.
Mm-hmm.
It's my word against his. You think anybody in their right mind is going to believe this boy? You think he'd stand a chance of convincing the jury?
Well, he might.
Fat chance.
He convinced us.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On January 8th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
The date, June 19th. The man in question, Father. The gift for Father's Day, Chesterfield. Make it a point to pick up a couple of cartons, first chance you get. It's the easiest way I know to put a smile in Dad's smoking, and a nice way to remember a great guy.
The district attorney failed to issue a complaint against Harvey Tilden. James Hill Brightstone was tried and convicted of robbery in the second degree, 2 counts. Robbery in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state prison for not less than 1 year. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Vic Rodman, Virginia Gregg, Eddie Firestone. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
This is it, L&M Filters. It stands out from all the rest. Miracle tip, much more flavor.
L&M's got everything.
It's the best.
Notice the color of L&M's Miracle Tip. It's white, pure white, to give you the purest and best filter. And L&M gives you a rich, good-tasting, fully satisfying smoke, the kind you can get only from highest quality tobaccos. Buy L&M. It's got everything: flavor, taste, mildness, and the best filter. L&M.
A courageous chaplain, honored as Mr. Citizen, thwarts a prison break and converts a juvenile delinquent to a new way of life. Don't miss Mr. Citizen this week. Check your local TV listings for time and station. Hear Dragnet next week, same time, same station.
Hear Biography in Sound on the NBC Radio Network.
Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A 6-year-old girl has been taken from the streets of your city. There's no lead to her whereabouts or to the identity of the kidnapper. Your job, find them.
It was Monday, May 1st. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Warman. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the business office, and it was 7:28 p.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide squad room.
No, the hair was a little thicker. You know, more of it.
More like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Short, real short.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about the eyes?
Well, they were kind of close together.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, where'd Frank go?
Chief Brown called. He went down there.
Mm-hmm. How you doing?
Good. Hey, take a look yourself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. Right on the old button, yeah. A couple more eyebrows.
What?
More eyebrows, couple more. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Say, this fella's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better than those guys at the beach.
What's that?
Guys at the beach, you know, they draw your picture while you wait 2 bits, something like that, and they draw your picture.
Mm-hmm.
This looks just like the guy that took the girl.
All right.
Sure feel bad about that. I really do.
Sir?
I was just sitting there, you know, folding up the papers from my route, just sitting folding, and all of a sudden I see this thing happen right in front of me.
Yeah.
Car just pulled up to the curb, and they grabbed the girl.
Mm-hmm. There was more than one?
Huh?
You said they grabbed the girl.
No, I just said that. You know, an expression. It didn't mean there was more than one. Just said that. You know how you do.
Yeah.
Just one. Kid, that's what he was. Young kid.
Mm-hmm.
No forehead. Just like a part.
Mm-hmm.
Joe?
Yeah.
I just talked to Chief Brown. He wants to know how the picture's coming.
Not finished. Why?
Looks like we might need it right away.
Huh?
The family just got a ransom note.
The suspect was described as WMA, 26 years old, 5 feet 8.5 inches in height, and weighing about 140 pounds. At approximately 3:10 that afternoon, he'd approached a private school in the Hollywood area and forced Grace Marchand, age 6, into his car. The only witness to the kidnapping had spread the alarm, and in a matter of minutes, every police officer in the area had the description of the man and the car he was driving. Word of the crime had gone out to all policemen in Southern California. They were all looking for a little girl. Units from Juvenile Division, working under Captain John Powers, joined in the search. A roundup of known deviates was started. All available information sources were tapped, but in spite of our efforts at the end of 4.5 hours, the child still hadn't been found. 8:02 p.m., Frank and I drove out to the house. We parked our car in the next block and walked to the Marchand residence, where we met with Captain Powers and the missing girl's parents.
Thought we could talk in here. Marchands are pretty upset.
Yeah. What about that note?
It's downtown. Leighton Prince are going over it.
How'd he get here?
Kid brought it.
What about him?
16 years old, lives in the neighborhood.
Where'd he get it?
Says a man approached him in the drugstore at the corner, asked him to deliver a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Gave the kid a buck. Boy didn't know what was in the letter.
What did it say?
Got a copy of it. Here.
You want to see your kid alive, get $50,000 in small unmarked bills ready. You'll get a phone call. Don't tell the police. Don't tell anyone. If you do, forget about your daughter.
How was it written, Captain?
Words were cut out of the evening paper and pasted on a plain white sheet.
Anything there?
We don't know yet. As soon as Leighton Prince are through with it, Larry Sloan's going over it.
Mm-hmm.
What about this Marchand? Can he swing that kind of money?
Yeah, I guess so. He says he will.
Are they going to go along with us?
I'm not sure. Mrs. Marchand would like us to get off their side.
How about him?
He wants his daughter back.
Well,
And you going to talk to him?
I guess we better. What about the phone?
Hmm?
Did you make arrangements to have it covered?
Oh, yeah. There's an extension in the study. You can use that. It's close enough to the one in the master bedroom so we can talk to the Marchands while they're on that one.
Okay.
Anything new turn up downtown?
No, still questioning deviates.
Well, we've taken the kid who brought the note downtown. Going to have him check the mug books.
And we better let him see that drawing, too.
Yeah.
What about the house? You got it covered?
Pretty good, yeah. There's a team from Hollywood across the street. Another one out in the back.
Where are they?
One across the street's in a neighbor's house. The other one's in a car out back.
Okay. Let's go, huh?
Yeah, they're in the living room.
All right.
How are they taking it?
Rough. Here you go.
You've got to get them out of the house, and I know they're going to ruin everything.
No, just calm down, dear. How are you, Captain Powers?
Mr. Marchand, this is Sergeant Friday and his partner, Frank Smith.
How are you, sir?
How do you do? This is my wife.
How are you, Miss Marshall?
Is there anything new? Have you found her yet?
No, ma'am, not yet.
I told you they're going to get her back. All this mess is just going to make it impossible.
Take it easy, dear.
Send them away. I don't want
It'll be all right if I take her upstairs.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, honey. Now, why don't you lie down? Try to get some rest.
They're going to bring her back.
Crying's not going to do any good, dear. Now, come on.
Until you get them out of the house, I'm not going anywhere.
Maybe it might be better if you waited out in the kitchen. I'll try to get her calm.
All right, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Here, come on, dear.
Just tell them.
Yes, I did.
Let's go.
I'm not doing anything in that house. I'll do
She's taking it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Have they called a doctor?
He's on his way.
Have they got any other children?
Yeah, boy, 10.
Where's he?
Her sisters, Marchand, took him over there this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's 6 teams from Metro standing by, 4 from our detail.
How about the sheriff's department?
I talked to Dick Tiernan. They're with us all along the line.
Good.
She isn't bad. I hope the doctor gets here pretty quick.
Is there anything we can do?
You know the answer to that one.
Well,
you like some coffee?
no, thank you.
Oh, thanks. No, I'm going to make some anyway.
All right.
I'm sorry about my wife.
That's all right, sir.
Taking the whole thing pretty hard.
Have you made any arrangements to get the money, Mr. Marchand?
Yes, I called my brother. There's nothing to do about it tonight. The first thing in the morning, we'll get it together.
Mm-hmm. We'd like to be with you.
What?
We'd like to help you prepare the money.
I don't know quite how to say this.
What's that, sir?
Well, I know you men are trying to help, but I don't want you interfering with the payoff.
That's going to make it a little difficult.
Maybe so, but that's the way it's got to be.
All right. That's the way you want it.
Well, it is.
You know it's not going to make much difference.
What do you mean?
Well, the kidnapper probably knows we're working on the case already. He's counting on the fact that you won't go along with us.
What is it you want to do?
Well, we'll help you get the money ready, take the numbers of the bills, and prepare the package.
We don't want to endanger your daughter's life. As far as we're concerned, you can go right ahead with the payoff when you're contacted. But if we can help now, it'll make it easier after the money's been paid.
On who?
Huh?
Who's it going to be easier on, you or Grace? You're going to make sure we get her back? You willing to write insurance on that?
There's no answer to that question.
That's the whole point. We want our daughter back. I don't care what we have to do or how we do it, as long as Grace is back. That's all that's important.
We can understand that.
I know
but
what
you've
you're
got
trying to do, and I appreciate it, but this is our problem. I don't want to take any chances on something going wrong. As soon as we hear from the man who has her, we'll do what he says.
And you're not going to let us help, huh?
No. And I think it might be better if you called your men off.
You're making it hard for us.
I'm not trying to, but can't you understand? All we want is our girl back. It doesn't make any difference how it's done as long as she's home. That's all that counts.
What about the man who took her?
That's your problem. As soon as Grace is home, I'll go along with you on whatever you want to do. But until then, I don't want you meddling.
Thought you said they'd gone.
They're just leaving.
You're not going to be happy until she's dead, are you?
That's not true, ma'am.
Well, it looks like it. All these policemen, the whole thing, a lot of noise, nothing more. You're not doing any good. Why don't you get out?
They're leaving, dear.
When? After they throw Grace up on the front lawn? Is that when they'll go?
All right, honey, now.
All right, ma'am, we'll leave.
Get out! Go on! Don't stand around!
All right, now that's enough, Mabel. They know it.
She's my baby.
All right, now calm down, will you? This isn't going to do any good.
What you around? You haven't done anything to make things fine. What good ain't doing?
I'm afraid you better leave.
All right, sir, we'll talk to you later.
As soon as we get Grace back, I'll...
What was that, sir?
I say, as soon as we get Grace back, I'll call you.
Yes, sir. You're sure you won't let us help?
No, you better go now.
Well, now what?
I guess we wait. Yeah. What about the surveillance? You going to call it off?
No, I don't think so. We'll check it with the skipper.
Yeah.
Be a lot easier if the Marchands would let us help them.
At least we know what was going on. Give us a chance.
Well,
This way we're in the cold. Nothing we can do.
I wonder if it makes any difference.
Huh?
Maybe we lost already. We contacted the office and talked with Captain Lorman. We told him what had happened at the Marchand home. He instructed us to keep the place under surveillance, but not to interfere with the movements of the family. Officers in the area were asked to stay away from the house. If the kidnapper wanted to make contact, we would do nothing to stop him. 8:46 p.m. Captain Powers stayed on at the scene, and Frank and I went back to the office. We met with Captain Lorman and Chief Detective Stab Brown.
You can't count on any cooperation from the family, then?
No, I don't think so. Father might go along with us, but Ms. Marchand is dead against it.
Mm-hmm. How are you going to handle it, Lorman?
Keep their place under surveillance. Wait for them to make a move.
Mm-hmm. Important thing is not to burn them.
Yeah. When do they figure to pick up the money, Joe?
Marchand said tomorrow morning.
What business is he in?
Contractor. Got a company with his brother.
They do a lot of work in developments. Just finished a big section out in the valley.
You won't have any trouble raising the money, then?
No, it didn't seem to bother him.
What are you going to do about that?
The money?
Yeah.
Well, first thing in the morning, we'll try to get in touch with his bank. Make arrangements to have the serial numbers on the bills noted.
Crime Lab able to do anything for you?
Well, we check with them. Should be some way we can make it easier.
And the important thing is to get the girl back. Once we know where she is, we can move a lot faster.
Yeah.
Homicide, Lorman. Yeah. Uh-huh. Want to give me that address? Yes, sir. Right away. Goodbye. Maybe it's coming over to our side.
What do you mean?
That was Mr. Marchand.
Yeah?
He wants to see you right away.
Frank and I left the office and drove over to the address Mr. Marchand had given us on the phone. It was an all-night restaurant on Hollywood Boulevard. We found him in a booth at the back of the place.
Hi, Mr. Marchand. How are you?
Sit down, will you?
Heard anything new?
No. The reason I called, I got to thinking after you'd left. The way we acted isn't going to help any. Not going to make it any easier on anybody.
That's right.
Mabel and I talked it over. She still isn't too hot on the idea, and I'd appreciate it if you could do what has to be done without her knowing too much about it.
We'll do what we can.
I don't like to have to put this kind of restriction on you, but right now there doesn't seem to be any other way.
We understand.
Have you heard anything else from the kidnapper?
Not a word.
Mm-hmm.
Don't imagine he'll try and contact me before I've had a chance to get the money.
No, sir. When do you figure on getting it?
I'll call my bank at 9, try and make arrangements then.
We'd like to be there when you talk to him.
All right. What do you plan on doing?
Well, first we want to get the serial numbers on all those bills.
I'm sure they'll cooperate.
We'll check with our crime lab. Maybe something we can use to prepare the money so we'll be able to recognize it a little better.
They'll probably want you to make up a special package, too.
Well, I'm not going to try and tell you your business. I guess you know what you're doing.
Well, we hope so.
I'd like to ask a question, though.
What's that?
You think she's still alive?
Well, there's no way of knowing that.
Well, you've handled this kind of thing before. You know what the odds are. What do you think?
I don't know.
Make it so much easier if we knew.
Yes, sir.
It just seems like she has to be alive. I can't imagine anyone would hurt a little girl. I just can't imagine it.
Yes, sir.
First time she's ever been away from home. She doesn't get along with strangers too well. Poor little kid. I'm sorry. I'm acting like an idiot.
No, sir. More like a father. We took Mr. Marchand back to his home, and then Frank and I checked out for the night. The next morning at 7:30 a.m., Henry Marchand, Frank, and I met with Ray Pinker in the crime lab.
Have you talked to the bank yet?
No, we figured we'd check with you, find out what you were going to want.
Mm-hmm. How's the money going to be paid?
We don't know yet. There's only been the one contact.
Yeah, saw that yesterday. What's the best way of working the deal, Ray? You're going to get the numbers on the bills?
Yeah.
Well, the note said to get the amount in small ones. I guess that means 5, 10s, and 20s.
Probably.
Be quite a few to work with, won't it?
Doesn't make a lot of difference. What are you going to do? Well, we can dust the package and the money with silver nitrate.
What'll that do?
In a matter of time, the moisture from the suspect's hands will combine with the silver nitrate and turn him white.
How long will it take?
Depends on his body chemistry.
Well, about how long?
Could be 3 to 4 hours. I wouldn't count on it happening that fast, though.
How easy is it going to be to spot?
Not too hard. Stuff looks almost like a white talcum powder.
To wash off easy?
No. Should last around 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Depends again on how easily he sweats, how often he washes his hands, and how hard he tries to get it off.
Yeah. Is there any chance he'll spot it?
Can't miss it once it starts to show.
Well, then he'll know there's something wrong. He might try to do something to Grace.
Well, we might as well face it, Mr. Marchand. If she hasn't been returned in 3 or 4 hours, it's probably because he doesn't mean to give her back.
I suppose so.
As soon as you get the instructions on wrapping the money, let me know right away. We'll get it ready.
What are you going to do?
We'll mark the paper the money's supposed to be wrapped in.
Why?
So we can identify it. If he wants the package out of newspaper, we got some on hand. Got some new brown wrapping paper, too. I think we're pretty well set on that score.
I don't understand why you're doing all this.
Well, if the suspect gets away from the meeting place, we've got to have a way to pick him up.
Well, how's the special package going to help?
We'll be able to prove it's what the money was wrapped in. Make it easier to be sure we got the right man.
I wish I was as confident as you seem to be.
How do you mean?
That we're going to catch the man.
Well, once he picks up the money, we've got everything on our side.
You're going to have the pickup area staked out?
As much as we can. Depends a lot on where the contact is made.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the payoff, we'll secure the area. Nobody will get out.
Ray, is there any way we can mark the car? Hard to say. We could use paint. A lot of things we don't know about the setup. It'd be easier to figure them after we've got all the information.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody can get close enough to the car, we can drop a capsule of paint on top of it. Put a copter in the area, and you shouldn't have any trouble picking it up.
Roger Friday.
Yeah.
Phone for you, it's your office.
Thank you.
Take it over there, Joe.
Okay. Which line?
3.
Thank you. Friday speaking. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. What? We'll be right over. Now it's beginning to go.
What do you mean?
Kidnapper just called.
Yeah?
He's ready for a meet. The second contact by the kidnapper had been made by telephone. He talked to Mrs. Marchand and instructed her to tell her husband to have the money ready by 6 p.m. that evening. He went on to say that another call would be made giving instructions for payment of the ransom. Mr. Marchand, Frank, and I talked with her about the call, and then we had a meeting with Captain Lorman and Chief Detective Thad Brown. It was decided to go ahead as the kidnapper had ordered. At 9:02 a.m., we got $50,000 from the bank. We went back to the city hall and talked to Captain James Fisk. He assigned 6 girls from the record section to aid us. We divided them into 3 teams of 2 each, one calling the numbers on the bills, the other typing a list. At 3:45 p.m., the job was finished. The money was taken to the crime lab and dusted with silver nitrate powder. Because we didn't have the final instructions on the delivery of the ransom, Ray Pinker gave us a supply of plain newspapers and brown wrapping paper. Both types were marked so they could later be identified in court. He also gave us pellets of dark and light paint in the event we had an opportunity to mark the kidnapper's car. 4:30 p.m., we got in touch with Dave Robart at the sound lab and made arrangements for 3-way radio equipment. Chief Detective Thad Brown contacted Army authorities, and with their cooperation, we had a helicopter standing by in the event it was needed. Teams of men from Metro Division and Homicide Detail were planted in the area around the Marchand home. And at 5:15 p.m., Frank and I, along with Marchand, drove out to his house to wait for the third contact from the kidnapper.
Red 1 to Red 6. Red 1 to Red 6. Come in, please.
Red 6 to Red 1. Do you read me?
Yeah, Jack, you're coming in fine. Who's riding with you, over?
Tilden. got any word yet? Over.
No, nothing. We'll talk to you later. Red 1 out. Well, that's it, Joe. They're all in position.
Yeah, now we got the tough part.
Yeah, waiting.
Say, all these cars, isn't there a chance a kidnapper might see them?
No, sir, they're scattered all over the area. Matter of fact, none of them can even see the house.
Hope it works out.
Well, everything's going with us so far. Keeps up, we shouldn't have any trouble at all.
Yeah.
Is your wife all right, Mr. Marchand?
Yeah, I guess so. She's upstairs. The doctor gave her something to make her sleep. Didn't want it, but he figured it was best.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't anything she could do to help. This whole thing's been pretty hard on her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when it's over, we'll take both kids and go out of town for a vacation. The rest would do her good.
Yes, sir.
Been pretty rough on her.
I'll get it. Just a minute, Mr. Marchand. Give us a chance to get that other phone.
Well, you can use the one in the breakfast room through that door.
All right. Now, don't pick up the receiver until you hear me say now. You got it?
All right, any way you say. Can't I answer it now? He might not wait.
Just a second. Now.
Hello? What? Oh, yes, Sam. No, I can't right now. No, yeah, uh-huh. Look, Sam, I'm expecting an important call. Can I talk to you tomorrow? I'm sorry about it. Yeah, sure. No, it's nothing else. Yeah. All right, Sam, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Sam Nicholson wanted to know if I could play golf with him in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Thought at first it might be the kidnapper.
Yeah.
Wasn't. Thought sure it was him. Well, I wish something would happen. Just waiting will drive me crazy. You know, if we just knew she was all right, that's all. If we just knew.
Yes, sir. All right, give me a chance to get that other phone. Wait till I say now.
I know it's him this time.
Now.
Hello? Yeah, that's right. No, I was in the back of the house. What? No, the line isn't tapped. No, it isn't. I give you my word. Yeah, what about Grace? Is she all right? Yeah, I got it. Uh-huh. No, it's here in the house now. That's right, $50,000. Yeah, wait a minute. I better get a pencil. All right, go ahead. Yeah. Uh-huh. No, I know where it is. Yeah. All right, I'll try and find something. No, I'll find something. Yeah, all right. I'll leave as soon as I can. No, I won't bring anybody, I swear. Yeah, will you have Grace there? Hello? Hello? You heard it.
Yeah.
You better get started.
You got the map?
I'll get it.
He said Grace was all right. Did you hear him say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
He said she was okay. Well, I hope he was telling the truth.
Yes, sir, so do we.
You know, it's been a long time, Sergeant, but I guess you never forget how.
What's that?
To pray.
The man on the phone had instructed Mr. Marchand to attach a piece of white material to the front of his car and to drive north on Highway 101. He said that near Zuma Beach he would indicate his presence by flashing the headlights of his own vehicle. Marchand was to pull over to the side of the road and walk halfway to the kidnapper's car. After a wait, the suspect would approach Marchand and take the money. At that time, he'd give us information on the girl's return. 6:10 p.m., all of the cars in the operation were told of the latest developments. It was decided that I would hide in the back seat of Marchand's car with a walkie-talkie and keep contact with the other officers. Frank and Captain Powers would be directly behind us in Unit 1K80. As soon as we made contact with the kidnapper, they would try to take the suspect into custody. The money was wrapped in the brown wrapping paper, and at 6:14 p.m., Marchand and I went out to his garage and got in the car. He drove out Sunset Boulevard to the Pacific Coast Highway and turned right. We drove for about 40 minutes. There was no sign of the kidnapper.
Red 2 to Red 1. Red 2 to Red 1. Come in, Red 1.
Red 1 to Red 2, over.
How's it going, Joe? Any sign yet?
No, we're approaching Zuma Beach. Should be pretty quick now.
Friday, there's a car up ahead. I can just make it out.
Stand by, Red 2. I think we made contact. How about it?
Yeah, that's it. He just flashed his lights.
Frank, we just made contact. Better take it easy.
Okay, Joe. Keep us posted.
Can you see us?
We can just barely make out your lights. We're about a half a mile behind you.
Right. Red 1 out. Now, how about it, Marchand?
It's him. He flashed the lights again.
Okay, do what he said. Approach slowly. Try to get as close as you can.
All right.
But do exactly what he says. Give him the money and try to find out where your daughter is.
Yeah. He's driving off.
What?
He's leaving. He isn't going to wait. I'm going to stop him. I'll stop him.
What are you doing?
Hang on. We're going to hit.
You all right, Marchand?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm all right.
The door's stuck. Can you get the front one open?
I think so. I'll try. I think I can get it open.
Right here, let me through. You all right in there?
Hey, is he hurt? I had to stop him. There wasn't any other way he was going to leave.
All right, give me a hand with this door.
Yeah, sure. There wasn't any other way he was going to leave.
All right, come on.
Leave me alone. Get away and
Come
leave
on,
me alone.
get out of there.
I can't. I think my leg's broken. I can't move it.
Make him tell where Gracie is. Make him tell.
Leave me alone.
All right, come on, out.
Please leave me alone. I can't stand it anymore.
Where's Grace? Where's my daughter?
Wait till we get him away from the door.
I want to know where she is. If you don't make him tell me, I'll do it myself. I'll kill him if he's hurt her. I'll kill him right here.
All right, come on, give me some help.
Kill him. Just leave me alone with him. That's all. Just leave me alone.
That won't make it any better.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you run into me?
You tried to take off, didn't you?
I got scared. I wanted to get out. I didn't want to go through with it.
Is the girl all right?
You're going to get me a doctor. You're going to do something about my leg. You got to do something.
All right, we'll take care of it. How about the girl? Is she all right? Come on, mister. Don't make it any rougher on yourself. What about the girl?
Make him tell.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
All right, come on. Now, where's the girl? Is she all right? Answer me. Where is she?
All right. All right. She's okay. I didn't touch her. I didn't hurt her at all.
Where is she?
Hotel downtown. She's okay. Hotel downtown.
What hotel?
The Piedmont. Room 506.
You in this alone?
Yeah. There's nobody else. All alone.
All right.
Joe?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah. How about the kid? Piedmont Hotel, room 506. Better get a call out on it right away.
I'll take care of it, Frank.
Okay, Captain. Hey, Joe, you got a bad cut in your forehead.
Yeah, I must have hit something when we crashed.
Yeah, we saw it from back there. We didn't know what was happening. You gonna call an ambulance for me?
We'll take care of it.
You better do it fast. I don't know how much longer I can stand it. It's broken. I'll never be able to fix it. Never.
All right, let's go.
You've got to carry me. I can't walk. Probably won't be able to walk again.
You won't have to.
Huh?
You're not going anyplace.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On September 16th, trial was held in Department 89, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Martin Francis Langer was tried and convicted of kidnapping for the purpose of obtaining ransom and received sentence as prescribed by law. On recommendation of the jury, he was sentenced to the state penitentiary at San Quentin, California, for the rest of his life.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a forgery detail. For the past 6 weeks, a man has been passing phony payroll checks in your city. You've got a description, but no positive identification. The check forgeries continue. Your job? Stop them.
It was Tuesday, May 17th. It was windy in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of forgery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Welsh. My name's Friday. We were on our way back from lunch, and it was 1:13 p.m. when we got to room 29. Forgery.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. I see. Hold on a minute, will you, please? Hey, Joe.
Yeah?
Skipper wants to talk to you and Smith.
Right, thanks.
Well, just one thing, ma'am. Could you tell me what kind of account it is? Yes, ma'am, I understand that. Is it a
Come in.
account? Well, in that case, your husband got a perfect
Hi,
right.
Skipper. You want to see it?
Yeah. I guess you know what's on my mind.
Oh, we got a pretty good idea, yeah.
Corner Pocket had me in this morning. Been getting beefs from all over town. Factories raising Cain because their employees can't cash legitimate payroll checks. Merchants scared to death of being stuck with a phony. Making any headway on this guy?
Not much.
Well, just where do we stand? Lay it out.
Well, he passed another one last Tuesday, a tailor shop on South Jefferson.
How many does that make?
Well, 24 that we know of.
All in the last 6 weeks?
Give or take a couple of days.
You sure they're from the same guy?
Same M.O., same description.
A couple of times he had a woman with him. Said she was his wife. We sent out circulars on them both.
Got any results?
1 or 2 leads. They didn't pan out.
What about your informants?
Nothing.
They holding out?
I don't think so. I don't think they know him.
Gavin Welch. Yeah. Yeah, they're here. Uh-huh. I see. Okay, give me the address. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry, I'll tell him. 24 bum checks, huh?
That's right, Skipper.
That's wrong.
Huh?
25 now.
On April 6th, we'd received the first report in this series of check forgeries. A grocery store on the corner of Oakwood and 3rd had cashed what appeared to be a payroll check from the Jeffers Carner Aircraft Company. It was marked payable to Russell J. Foreman. In our investigation, Frank and I had learned that the check was fictitious and that the company had never employed anybody by that name. We had also learned that bona fide Jeffers Carner checks were printed in a different manner and in a different color. During the next 5 weeks, we'd received additional reports of forged payroll checks supposedly issued by various Los Angeles manufacturers. In each case, the suspect had had what seemed to be good identification, either a driver's license or an employment ID card from the company named on the check. The suspect had never used the same name or the same plant twice, but descriptions given by victims had indicated that the forgeries were all the work of one man. On 3 occasions, he'd been accompanied by a woman who had been introduced as his wife. Victims had been unable to make an identification from our mug books. Descriptions of both suspects and their M.O. had been checked with the stats office and had been sent to CII up in Sacramento. A local and an APB had been gotten out. The 25th victim was Alvin Driscoll, owner of a men's clothing store on South Maryland Avenue. Frank and I interviewed him at his shop. He told us that the forged check which he had cashed appeared to be from the Elderdale Oil Refinery.
I come into the store, bought a couple of items, give me his payroll check to pay for them. That's all there was to it.
That was last Friday?
Friday morning, along about 9:30 a.m.
What was it he bought, Mr. Driscoll?
Sports shirts. That counter over there. Marked down to $2.98. Some of them was as high as $5 last year. They're real good buys, believe me. Yeah, medium. That was his size.
Uh-huh. What else can you tell us about this man?
How's that?
What did he look like, sir?
Well, like I said, he takes a medium shirt. That'd make him pretty average.
Mm-hmm.
About 170, I'd judge. Black hair, a little bit of gray in it. Pleasant face. Ordinary fellow.
How was he dressed?
Suit, shirt, button-down collar. Suit was a charcoal brown, about the shade of that one on the rack over there, down at the end. See it?
Mm-hmm. When he gave you the check, did you ask for any identification?
Well, I didn't have to ask. He just handed it over. He had a whole wallet full. Driver's license, union card, whole wallet full.
Well, that may have been forged, too.
Well, it looked genuine to me.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't any way of my knowing it was phony. I done just what I was supposed to. Everything. Make sure you get identification of your cash check.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the bank says. It's what you police fellows say, too, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm still out $100, ain't I?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Mr. Driscoll, is there anything you can tell us about this man?
Well, no, nothing that comes to mind.
Did he have a car? Do you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Well, did he?
Brand new Ford convertible. You know, one of them two-tone models. Probably wasn't even broke in yet, but that sure don't keep him from gunning it when he went barreling out of here.
Are you certain about this?
About what?
Well, that he was driving a new Ford convertible.
Well, I guess I know one when I see one. I'm considering buying a new Ford myself. Not like that snazzy roadster he had. A sedan, maybe. Had me a demonstration drive a couple of weeks ago.
I see.
Oh, my. Now I'll probably have to make out with my old clunker another year. Thanks to his bum check.
Oh, sir, did you happen to notice the license number?
On the convertible?
Yes.
Yes, I noticed it.
Well, do you happen to know if it was a California plate or an out-of-state?
It's California.
Do you remember the number?
Now, what do you fellows think I am, anyway? You expect me to memorize a whole string of figures like that when I only seen them once? I ain't no quiz kid.
Yes, sir.
When you're my age, you can't keep every little thing in your head, you know.
Yes, sir.
Would it really make any difference if you was to have that license number?
Well, yes, sir, it might.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I jotted it down.
The victim, Alvin Driscoll, checked his files and showed us a carbon copy of the sales slip for the items which the suspect had purchased. On it, he had noted the license number R1V15347. 3:38 p.m. Frank and I went back to the office and asked DMV to run down the number for us.
That's right. 5347. Mm-hmm. Will you call us back? Okay, thanks. It'll be a minute or two, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we might be getting our first break.
Yeah. Well, you got a cigarette?
Yeah. You all out?
Well, I wouldn't be asking if I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Doesn't mean anything, Joe. Here you go.
Right, here you are.
No, go ahead, keep them. I got another pack.
That's all right. I'll get some more.
I told you to keep them, Joe. There's only a couple left.
Matter of fact, there's only one.
Oh.
Thanks anyway.
Marjorie Smith. Wait a minute. Okay, go ahead. Myson? M-Y-S-O-N? Yeah, I got it. Uh-huh. 117. Huh? You sure? Yeah, I see. Okay, thanks.
Well,
DMV came up with a car to match that plate.
Uh-huh.
There's one thing wrong. It isn't a brand new Ford.
Oh?
It's a 6-year-old Buick.
The Department of Motor Vehicles had reported that the car bearing license number R1V15347 was registered in the name of Philip B. Myson at 117 South Helen Avenue. Records showed that the car in question was a Buick sedan, which had been manufactured 6 years earlier. We ran Myson's name through R&I. They had nothing on him. We also ran the license number through our auto records to check to see if it was a stolen plate or a hot car. The report was negative. 4:09 p.m., Frank and I drove out to the Helen Avenue address. It was a small one-story bungalow with rain-streaked stucco walls. Try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is it?
Police officers.
Well?
You're Ms. Philip Myson?
Yeah.
Miss Frank Smith, my name's Friday.
All right, your name's Friday, his name's Smith, my name's Myson. Where's that get us?
We'd like to talk to you for a minute, Miss Myson.
You mean you want to come inside?
Well, it might be a little easier to talk there.
Nobody's stopping you.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to sit down, you have to clear off a space. I'm not much of a housekeeper.
It's all right, we can stand.
Suit yourself.
Miss Myson, is your husband home?
Phil?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Do you know where we might get in touch with him?
No.
You must have some idea.
I haven't seen him since last March.
Oh?
What kind of a car does he drive?
Ask him.
Did he ever own a Buick sedan? License number R1V15347.
Why?
We'd like to know where the car is now.
It's out in the garage, and that's where it's staying. You can tell that lousy crumb if he thinks he's going to take the car away from me, he's got another think coming.
Your husband isn't trying to take your car.
Yeah? What are you doing here?
We'd like to check the license plate, that's all.
You sure that's all you want, just to check the license?
That's all.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll get you the garage key.
Thank you.
Sorry if I gave you a rough time. You can't blame me. Character like my husband, he'd have to try anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, here you are. Be sure you lock it up when you're done.
Yes, ma'am. I'll take a look at it, Joe.
Right.
Well, I might have known it was too good to last.
Ma'am?
Not hearing from Phil for over 2 months.
Is he still in Los Angeles, would you know?
Not if he's got good sense.
What do you mean?
If he's smart, he'll stay as far away from me as he can.
Yeah.
He's just plain lucky I didn't kill him. Giving me a shirt with some other dame's lipstick on the collar, expecting me to wash it out. I should have throttled him with it.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have a picture of your husband, Miss Mason?
Why?
We'd like to know what he looks like.
Like a bum, that's what.
Do you have a picture?
Snapshot, maybe.
Would you see if you can find one for us?
All right. Just looking at him will probably spoil my supper. Yeah, here's some. I'm married to a face like that, and I have to worry about other women.
All right, if we borrow this for a couple of days?
Do me a favor. Keep it.
Joe.
Excuse me, Miss Mason. Yeah.
That's the right license plate, the wrong car.
Buick sedan?
Just like BMV had at 6 years old.
Okay.
Here's your key, ma'am.
You locked up tight?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry if we bothered you.
Oh, forget it. Hey, wait a minute.
Yes.
Not that I give a darn, but how about telling me why you're so interested in Phil?
It was just a police matter.
You don't think he pulled a job or something?
Why should we think that?
You shouldn't. If you do, you're way off base. You really picked the wrong guy.
Yes, ma'am.
Take it from me, if a jerk like Phil ever got out of line once, just once, you boys wouldn't have to go looking for him.
Oh?
No. You'd catch him red-handed.
Frank and I left the Meissen home and contacted Alvin Driscoll. He confirmed his description of the suspect's car, but he admitted he might have been mistaken about the license number. We showed him Meissen's photograph, and he was certain that Meissen was not the man who had passed the forged check. The next day, May 18th, we showed the Meissen photo to several of the other victims. They all agreed that he was not the forger. 11:17 a.m., we went over to DMV and began to try variations of the license number Mr. Driscoll had given us to see if we could come up with a late model Ford convertible. 12:32 p.m.
How you doing?
Well, I turned up a couple of Fords, no convertible.
I've switched the last two numbers every way I can think of. What are you working on now?
V15.
Okay, I'll try the 5-3 part of it.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
New Ford, only one digit off.
Convertible?
Yeah.
Sounds like it might be it.
It's pretty hard to tell, yeah.
What do you mean?
Belongs to a car rental agency. DMV records showed that a vehicle similar to the one we were looking for was registered to the C.P. Adams Auto Rental Agency on South 6th Street. 2:17 p.m. Frank and I went over there and talked to the owner, Clifford P. Adams.
Would you give me that number again, please?
It's R1V35347.
All right, I got it. Now, if you'll just give me a moment to check our records.
Yes, sir.
Now, we have a stock of over 50 cars. It's a little difficult to remember all the license numbers.
Yes, sir, it would be.
Mm-hmm. Here we are. It seems you're quite correct. That's one of our automobiles, a new Ford.
Can you tell us what model it is?
It's a convertible, yellow and black.
Uh-huh.
Most of our cars are convertibles. When people come to Southern California, that's what they all want.
Yes, sir.
Anything else I can do for you?
Yeah, is that car rented right now?
Well, I couldn't say offhand. Would you like me to find out?
If you will, please.
Be glad to. Be glad to. It's a different file, that's all.
I see.
Let's see. Oh, yes, this is it. No, that car's in the shop today. Grease job, oil change, regular checkout.
Do you have the names of the people who've rented it lately?
They're right here on the card. Any particular date?
How about last week? Thursday.
Thursday. That would be Mr. Waters, Mr. Gerald Waters. He used the car all last week, just turned it back yesterday.
You're a regular customer?
He's rented from us several times, as I recall, on and off during the last month or so.
Can you tell us what he looks like?
Actually, I've only seen him once or twice. He's a youngish man, about 40, tall, black hair, a little gray at the temples.
How about his wife? Did you ever meet her?
Yes, she picked up a car for him.
Would you describe her, please?
Well, I think she was blonde. Nice looking, probably in her 30s. That's about all I can remember.
Yeah, their address, Mr. Adams?
Oh, yes. We try to get all the information we can about our clients, but I'm afraid it's in a different file.
It's all right. Take your time.
Someday we'll have to work out a more efficient system for all these records. Thompson, Tucker, Virgil, Waters. Yes, this is it. Home address, Springfield, Illinois.
What about here in town?
Oh, we have that, too. The Haven House Motel on Sunset Boulevard.
I see.
But I'm afraid you won't be able to reach them there.
Oh?
When Mr. Waters turned in the car yesterday, he asked us to drive him and his wife to Union Station.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said they were leaving town.
We got a sample of the suspect's handwriting, and we asked Mr. Adams to get in touch with us if he heard from Gerald Waters again. We sent a teletype to Springfield, Illinois, requesting any information they might have about Gerald Waters. The next day, May 19th, the Springfield PD replied that a man answering Waters' description was wanted for a series of Illinois check forgeries. They also said his true name was Fred H. Joyce. They said that they were forwarding a mugshot airmail special delivery. The mug arrived on Friday, May 20th. We showed it to 4 of the check victims, and they all positively identified the photograph. 3:36 p.m., Frank and I drove over to the Adams Car Rental Agency to confirm the identification.
Hi, Mr. Adams.
Well, this is quite a coincidence.
Sir?
You're coming here today. I just called you a little while ago.
We didn't get any message.
Well, I didn't leave any message. I wasn't sure it was important.
Well, what was it you wanted?
About Mr. Waters. You told me to let you know if I heard from him again.
That's right.
Well, I did.
What's that?
He wants to rent another car.
We showed Mr. Adams the mugshot of Fred Joyce, and he stated positively that Joyce and Gerald Waters were the same man. He also told us that Waters had called the car rental agency about 11 o'clock that morning to make arrangements for renting a new convertible. Joyce had asked him to have the car ready at 5:30. He said he would pick it up. Frank and I waited in Adams' office, 5:28 p.m. Want to go ahead and answer?
C.P. Adams Car Rentals. Who? Oh, yes, just a minute. It's him, Mr. Waters, or whatever his real name is.
Let's find out what he wants.
Yes, Mr. Waters. Oh, yes, it's all ready. I thought you were going to pick it up. Oh. Well, I don't know. Hold on a second. He says he's tied up, that he can't get away. He wants us to deliver the car.
Ask him where he's calling from, will you?
Where are you, Mr. Waters? I say. Well, I don't know. I'm a little short-handed today. I'll have to check. That phone booth somewhere in Wilshire.
Where does he want you to send the car?
Where do you want the car delivered, Mr. Waters? Mm-hmm. The Crest Plaza. How soon? I guess we could make it by then.
Tell him you get it to him.
All right, Mr. Waters, we'll do our best. Thank you very much. He'll be in the bar of the Crest Plaza Hotel at 6:30, just off the lobby.
Right, thanks a lot.
Oh, about the car, I wouldn't want it damaged.
Don't worry, Mr. Adams. You don't need to send it.
What?
We'll take care of his transportation. We went over to the Crest Plaza Hotel. It was 6:28 p.m. when we arrived. There were two entrances to the bar. Frank went in through the lobby, and I used the street door.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Got any hot coffee?
Yeah.
Black, please.
That all you want?
Yeah, that's all. Not very busy tonight, are you?
That place livens up later on.
All right.
Evening. Hi, you two guys together?
That's right.
He wants coffee, too, huh?
Yeah, Black.
Figures. Okay, sports. I'll get it. You see him?
No, he's probably not here yet.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Hey, don't mention it. That'll be 20 cents.
All right. There you are.
You sure you don't want anything to drink?
No.
Well, would you mind finishing the coffee over in the booth?
What do you mean?
Well, it's not good for business.
Why?
We sell booze, not coffee. Other customers come see you sitting here swilling coffee. It's liable to give them ideas. Thing like that catches on, the place will go broke.
We're police officers.
What?
Police officers.
Well, what are you doing here? Something wrong?
A couple of questions we want to ask.
Yeah, about what?
Take a look at this picture. I'd like you to tell us if you know him.
Wait a minute. Let me get some light. Yeah. Yeah, I see this guy around.
Do you live here in the hotel?
I don't think so. He comes in once in a while, though. He usually drags a blonde around with him.
Mm-hmm.
You guys been looking for him long?
Quite a while, yeah.
You must be looking in the wrong places.
What do you mean?
He just walked through the door.
That's him.
Let's go.
About a dry martini, eh? A couple of them will set pretty good before dinner, huh? Yeah? Something you want?
You Gerald Waters?
What?
Gerald Waters, is that you?
You from the car lot?
You come up with the first answer, mister. How about the name?
Yeah, I'm Waters. Where's the car?
You won't need it. Police officers, you're under arrest.
What are you talking about?
You keep out of this, honey.
All right, come on, Waters, on your feet.
You better take it easy. You're liable to find out you're rousing the wrong guy.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to run that risk. Get up.
Okay.
Keep your hands on the table.
I don't know what this is all about, but I know you haven't done anything wrong, Gerald. Whatever happens, I'll stick by you. I'll get a lawyer. I'll raise the money somehow. Whatever happens, I'm never going to leave you, Gerald.
Don't worry about it, lady.
What?
You're coming along. We took the two suspects into custody and drove them down to the city hall. 7:08 p.m. We turned the female suspect over to a policewoman to be searched, and we brought Joyce into the squad room for interrogation.
All right, Joyce, take everything out of your pockets. My name's Waters. You know that.
We know it's Joyce, too. Go on, empty.
Lay the stuff on the table. Where do these keys fit?
Lockers.
Where?
I forget.
Sure.
Listen, why are you holding my wife? She hasn't done anything. If you think you can frame me, go ahead and try it, but turn her loose.
That's not up to us.
Why not?
She's been with you too often.
What do you mean?
When you were passing those phony checks.
Phony checks? Is that what you think I've done?
There are about 25 people who say it was you.
They're wrong, that's all. Dead wrong.
They don't think so.
Are you willing to go to court?
I better shut up.
Ever been in Illinois, Joyce?
What?
Springfield.
What do you know about that?
You're in the upper brackets, Joyce. We got the whole story.
Come on, Joyce. It'll make it easier all around.
How about it?
Where's Myra?
She's all right.
Where is she?
Right down the hall.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah?
We can get together on this thing. We can come to an agreement.
Go ahead.
What if I admit the whole deal? Tell you all about it.
Yeah.
What about Myra? Would you let her go?
That depends.
On what?
How clean she is.
Well, she'll stand any kind of a look. She's never been in any trouble.
Mm-hmm. And she hasn't got anything to worry about.
Go ahead with the story.
Okay, I'll get on your side. I'm the guy you're looking for.
We knew that going in.
Whole thing started right after Myra and I were married.
Yeah.
Was making pretty good money, enough to give her the things she wanted. You know, she's a pretty girl. A woman like that's got to have nice things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it happened. Just all of a sudden, the bottom seemed to drop out of the whole company.
You mean your business?
Yeah. The whole thing just seemed to explode. No matter what I did, it was wrong. Nothing worked.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't couldn't let Myra know about it. They just couldn't.
Yeah.
I tried to borrow the money, talked to all my friends, tried to get them to stake me again.
Mm-hmm.
All I could see of them was their backs. I had to do something.
So you started hanging paper.
It was the only way, the only one.
Do you have any more checks?
Yeah, keys there. They're for a locker downtown. You'll find all the stuff there.
Okay.
All right, now, how about it?
What?
Now, you let Myra go? She didn't know anything about it, not a thing. She didn't have anything to do with it, I swear to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hold her, are you? Now that I've told you the truth.
Forgery, Friday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where? Okay, thank you. They just checked your wife's prints, Joyce.
Why'd they do that? You aren't going to hold her. You gave me your word. You don't want her for anything.
A couple of other states do.
What?
You aren't the only husband she's had, and you aren't the first forger she's worked with either.
What kind of a double cross is this?
No double cross. She's got a record as long as your arm.
That's a lie, a dirty, lousy lie.
Oh, take it easy, Joyce. Sit down.
Still a lie.
Figure it out for yourself. Take a good look.
What do you mean?
Did your wife know anything about the checks?
Sure, after we got going. Wasn't any way to keep it away from her.
How about when you started? She know then?
No.
You sound pretty sure.
Maybe you talked it over with her, huh?
I don't know, maybe.
She might have helped you out a little then, huh?
Maybe some of the operation was her idea.
How about it, Joyce?
I don't know. I don't much care anymore. Maybe it was her idea. Maybe she did play me for a sucker.
Sure sounds that way to us.
Doesn't really make any difference if she did. Take a look around you, cop. Everybody's a sucker. Everybody in the world is going to fall for a con game sooner or later. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys that cash the checks for me. Suckers, every one of them, just like me. Look at all the money they're out.
Well, there's a big difference.
Huh?
That's all they're out.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On August 17th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Frederick R. Joyce, alias Gerald Waters, was tried and convicted of forgery, 5 counts. Forgery is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 1 nor more.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. 2 men have been terrorizing the tavern keepers in your city. In spite of your efforts, they continue to run free. Your job, stop them.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, June 14th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We're on our way out from the office, and it was 11:13 a.m. when we got to the corner of 7th Street and Sunset Boulevard. The Black Dog Bar and Grill.
In the back.
Now,
Hi.
how are you?
Hello? What'll it be?
Police officers.
Oh, cops, huh?
That's right. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How are you, Nick Thomas? I guess about last night, huh?
That's right. We'd like to go over a couple things with you.
Why, sure. Can I get you anything?
No.
You mind if I have a cup of coffee while we talk?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Sure surprised me.
What's that?
Last night, I sure wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
You know, you read about things like that happening, but you just never figure them happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you've been in the business as long as I have. You ought to expect it. At least that's the way I figure it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what do you want to know?
Well, according to what you told the officers last night, the men came in the place about 11:30. Is that right?
That's right, 11:30.
You sure about the time?
Oh, yeah. You see, I always look at that newscaster, 11:15, 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
He went off the air, and they just put up the card where it tells what station it is, and this guy walked right in.
Yeah.
I can't stand him myself.
What?
The newscaster, I can't stand him. Me and the missus have gotten some real bad beefs about him. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, she digs him, but I can't stand him myself. He's a real no good.
Mm-hmm.
He's the kind of a guy where if some old man spit in the sidewalk, he could build it up so we should evacuate the whole city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, he's like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real no good.
Wonder if you checked this description of the two men who held you up.
Sure. Know those two guys any place. Ever saw them again, I'd sure know them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's them. The tall one and the fat one. That's them. I know them any place.
What'd they say to you?
Well, hardly nothing at all. Just walked up to the bar, leaned over, and told me to hand over the money.
I see. Do you remember the exact words?
You mean the way they said it?
Yeah.
Well, let me see. I think it was, okay, Mac, just a stick-up. Do like we tell you, won't get hurt. Like that he talked.
Mm-hmm.
Just give us the money, don't make any noise.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Walked right back to the register, opened it up, and handed over the loot.
What happened then?
Told me to keep quiet, and then they walked out of the place.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else in here?
Oh, there's a couple of people up in front.
Did the thieves bother them?
No, they were just after the money in the register. Other couple didn't even know there was anybody here until it was all over.
Let me see.
There were a couple of kids.
What's that?
Kids, you know what I mean. Like young and real in love. Roof could have fallen in. They wouldn't have known it.
Yeah.
Cops talked to them last night, but they couldn't tell them nothing.
You say you'd know these men if you saw them again, huh?
You just get all the money you can on that one.
Mm-hmm. Did you see if they had a car?
Who?
The men who held you up.
Oh, no.
They didn't have one, is that?
Well, I didn't see it.
Is there anything about them that you can tell us?
No, just a couple of guys, one tall, the other one fat.
Did you see if they had a gun?
You think I'd have handed over the money if they didn't?
What kind of a weapon was it?
It was a gun, the kind with bullets. You pull the trigger, it goes bang, like that.
Yeah,
It was a gun.
I know, but was it a revolver or an automatic?
Well, I don't know. I guess it was, Well, come to think of it, I guess... Hey, you know, you're right.
What do you mean?
I didn't see it.
Hmm.
Not even a peek. Guy had his hand in his pockets like this, you know, like this.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see the gun, though, not for real.
Mm-hmm.
He just had it in his pocket.
Yeah.
Hey, you figure he was just playing a joke on me?
What's that?
A funny that he really didn't have a gun at all?
No, we wouldn't know.
Well, why not?
What?
Well, why don't you know? It's your job, isn't it? Knowing things like that? Bunch of crooks running around. You don't even know if they got a gun. The fine lot of cops you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I might have just given him that money for nothing. If he didn't have a gun, there was no reason to hand it over. No reason at all. I should have found out. That's what, huh?
How do you mean?
I made a grab at the guy. Probably didn't have nothing in the pocket but just his hand or something like that.
Yeah.
If he didn't have one, if I was right, I could have told you guys.
What if it was the other way?
Huh?
What if you were wrong? From the method of operation and the description of the suspects, we knew that they were the same two men who had staged 6 robberies in the past week. We showed the latest victim the mugshots from the packages that the stats office had turned for us. He pointed out 3 of the pictures and said they looked something like the hold-up men, but he was unwilling to make even a tentative identification. 11:56 a.m. We returned to the office and put in a call to Leighton Prince. They hadn't been able to turn anything of value. A canvass of the area around the bar had netted nothing. The case stood where it had 7 days before when the robbery was first reported, 1:15 p.m.
Well, it doesn't seem to be a directional trend.
No, they're hitting all over, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Anything from Brereton?
List of names came in this morning. We've already checked most of them out.
We could use a few more leads.
I'd settle for one.
Yeah.
You seen the skipper?
Yeah, I was in earlier. I don't think he's in the office now.
I wonder when he's going to climb on us.
I don't know. I've been expecting it, Joe. Better off around?
I haven't seen him. Why?
Well, he said he might be able to help us turn something.
Yeah.
Said he had an informant down on L.A. Street.
Mm-hmm. Hot shot. Let's go.
Hmm?
Same 2.
Yeah?
They hit again. Frank and I left the office and drove out to the scene of the latest robbery. It was a small restaurant located on South Spring. By the time we got there, a radio car had arrived, and the officer was checking the area.
You the cops? Are you? Are you more cops?
That's right.
That's what I thought. Other fella, he left. He said he was going to look for the crooks. He just went up the street.
You want to tell us what happened?
Held up, that's what. Held up.
Yes, we understand. Did the officer get a description of the thieves?
Sure, got it first thing. Said something about doing a broadcast or something. I'm not sure what he meant, but that's what he said.
All right. You want to give us your name?
Hector Pip.
What's that?
Pip. P-I-P. Like C.
Uh-huh.
Conan Doyle wrote a story about him. Pips. C, you know. Yep. Hector Pip.
This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Sure thing. Now, what do you want to know?
Well, would you tell us what happened, please?
Better get on the ball. Can't stand around and waste time. Better get the fellas what did it.
Mm-hmm.
Came in, right through that door, came in and told me it was a stick-up. That's it, just as plain as anything. Stick up.
Mm-hmm.
Sent me to hand over the money in the cash register. Over.
How much was it?
Well, I'm not sure. Must have been about $60, $70. I'm not sure.
Did you see him when they left?
Why, certainly. Couldn't very well miss 'em. Small place. Just stood here and watched 'em go. Watched my money go right out the door.
Yes, sir. What I meant was, did you see him get in the car?
No, I didn't. No, I sure didn't. Just stood here and watched them go, but I didn't see no car.
Was there anybody else in the place?
Oh, there was one fellow.
Well, where's he?
He left. All excitement got into gear, and he left. Chintzy, too. Chintzy.
What do you mean?
Owed me for a piece of cream pie and a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen him before?
No, a new face. He ain't from around here. Brand new.
Did you hear either of the two men use a name of any kind?
I sure did, yeah.
You want to tell us?
Do I have to?
Well, we'd like you to, if you will.
Lard. That's what he said. Lard.
Which one?
The tall one, like a fence picket. He's the one.
He called the other one Lard.
No.
But you said he used the name.
Sure. But he was talking to me.
Yeah. Well, look, is there anything else you can tell us about the men that might make it easier to identify them?
No, just two fellas. One tall, thin, other one fat.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have no reason to call me Lard. I've been on a diet for a couple of weeks. Eating those pills that swell up in your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they work for some people. Just make me feel as though I had a sponge.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything outstanding about the men?
No. Not that comes to mind, no.
They have a gun?
Not right off.
What do you mean?
Didn't have one when they come in. Of course, I didn't know that. No, sir, I didn't have any idea, no.
Mm-hmm.
Got him now, though. Stole him with the money.
What?
38 revolver and the 25 automatic. Took him.
Frank and I took the latest victim to the city hall. While he started to check the mug books, we ran the serial numbers of the guns through the record section. We found that they were both registered to Hector Pip. At 3:46 p.m., Frank came back to the office from the mug room.
Joe?
Back here. How's it going?
Well, long. He still hasn't found anything.
What's he checking now?
Coming out books. Had 4 or 5 more to go through.
Did you show him the pictures the stats office turned?
Yeah, nothing.
Hi, where you guys been?
Hi, Walt. Mug room.
I'm looking for you.
Yeah?
Talked to a fellow down on Main this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Says he knows the guys you're looking for.
We made arrangements for somebody to stay with the victim, and then Frank and I left the city hall. Sergeant Walt Bitteroff drove us over to talk to his informant. We found him in a cheap hotel on Wall Street.
All right, Walt, come on in.
Thanks, Angie.
You get it?
Yeah. Here you are.
Hey, cold?
Right out of the icebox.
Yeah, thanks.
These are the 2 guys I told you about, Angie.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you want some cold beer?
No, thanks a lot.
How about you, Walt?
Uh-uh.
You don't mind if I have one?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I must have had a good time last night.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're 3 feet apart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nothing like a cold beer next morning. My girlfriend gave me some new glasses, like in the beer commercials.
Yeah, nice.
Sure looks good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, sir. That's what I needed. Funny.
What?
Funny about beer. Always tastes good, but a glass like this makes it taste better. Ambrosia. Pure ambrosia.
Yeah. I wonder if we can get down to business, Angie.
Oh, sure. Now I get my head back. What can I do for you?
Said you had some information on the 2 guys who are pulling these bar holdups.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd like you to tell Friday and Smith here about it.
They cops?
That's right.
You're after fellas, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Walt tell you anything about setup?
What do you mean?
Well, anything you get, it didn't come from me.
Yeah, they know that, Angie.
Well, I gotta make sure. I remember something that helps you out. I forget it right away. You talk to me 5 minutes from now, I don't remember. Deal?
All right.
What about the guys?
Heavy. Got in town a couple of months ago.
Where are they from?
St. Louis.
You got the names?
Yeah, part of them.
What do you mean?
Well, just what they're called. That's all I got.
That'll do.
Don't pay to ask too many questions, you know.
Yeah.
Step on somebody's toes and you find a foot in your face.
What about the names?
Well, the tall one's called Ronnie. Fat guy's tagged Whale.
Is that what everybody calls him?
All I heard.
You know where they live?
Nope.
Where'd you meet him?
I move around. I run into them a couple of bars. Seen them once or twice.
Well, how do you know they're the ones we're after?
Just figures, that's all. Got a big roll, talk loud, the way they look, just figures.
You know where we can pick them up?
Haven't got any idea.
They drive in a car?
Not that I've seen.
Anything else you can tell us about them?
You've had it.
Have either one of them fallen?
No, we never spent an evening talking about it, but it figures they did.
Back east, maybe?
Yeah, I guess so. I heard the Whale say this was the first time they'd been on the coast.
All right, Angie, if there's nothing else.
There isn't.
If you hear anything, Angie, we'd appreciate a call.
Works out, I'll let you know. I'm not going to put anything in writing. Those jokers hear about it, and I'd have to dig a hole.
Okay.
Thanks for coming by, Walt.
Yeah.
Glad to have met you guys. See you again, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for the beer, Walt.
It's okay.
Sure made the difference. First got up, I felt like a gang of midgets had been playing soccer in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Rough last night. Gotta make a few calls around, find out.
Huh?
What kind of time I had.
We returned to the office and sent a radiogram to the St. Louis Police Department requesting all information on anyone in their files who'd used the nicknames Ronnie or Whale. We checked the two names through our moniker file without result. The next day, Wednesday, June 15th at 5:26 p.m., we got word from the east.
Here it is, Joe.
St. Louis?
Yeah, looks like they turned him.
Let me see. Ronald Saba and Gerard Llewellyn. How about Muggs?
Well, they're sending stand-ups right away.
Should be here in the morning, then, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll get it.
What is it?
Robbery out on Olympic. Sounds like Ronnie and the Whale.
How long ago?
Just left the place. Shot it up pretty bad.
Anybody hurt?
Yeah, policemen got in their way. The Green Tree Cafe was located at the corner of Olympic Boulevard and Estrada Street. By the time we got there, an ambulance had arrived, and the wounded officer had been removed to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. A felony car from Central Division had arrived at the scene and had started to search for the officer's assailants. We got the story from the bartender, Alvin Jaggers.
Well, two guys come in, like I told you, walked right in, told me it was a holdup.
How'd the policeman get shot?
On the way out, it happened. After I give the guys the money, started to leave, Abner saw him, tried to stop him.
You know the officer, do you?
Yeah, he comes in once in a while. Him and his wife come in for steak sandwiches.
Was his wife with him tonight?
Yeah, I think she went up to the hospital with him. I think that's where she went.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, when Abner saw these two fellers, you know, the hold-up man?
Yeah.
When he saw him, he told him to put down the guns.
Where was he standing?
You mean Abner?
That's right.
Oh, he was up there by the door. Him and the missus was in the front booth, and the guys went right by him when they come in.
Yeah.
He was standing right up by the door, told him to put down the guns and give up.
Well, now, did he have his gun out of the holster?
Yeah. You know, he had a kind of aim like this here.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon he was afraid of the people in the place, you know, if he had to shoot or something.
Mm-hmm.
And these two fellers stopped by when they saw him dead in their steps, told Abner to get out of the way.
Yeah.
He didn't budge none, held his ground for sure. Him right there, and them here, see?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the tall one, he yelled that they was going to leave and Abner shouldn't try to stop him.
Uh-huh.
And they started to walk outside, and Abner brought the gun up so as he could shoot at him.
Yeah.
Didn't make it, though. Shot him dead center right here, in the chest. After that, they run out the place, took off down the street.
Did the officer shoot at him at all?
Didn't have no chance. Guess he was finished before he started.
Well, did the men get into a car?
Well, if they did, I didn't see him. Too much going on.
Did either one of these men use a name while they were in here?
How you mean?
Well, did they call each other by name?
Now, let me think about that for a minute. Yeah, I think they did.
What was it, do you remember?
Well, after the shooting the tall one, he turned to the other fella and he said, "Come on, well, let's get out of here."
Uh-huh. Which one of them did the actual shooting?
Now, I couldn't tell you that.
What do you mean?
Well, both of them shot about the same time. Wasn't more than a half a second difference. Bang, bang, real fast. Both about the same time. I don't know if they both hit Abner, but they both shot at the same time.
Have you seen these men around before?
You know, matter of fact, I have.
They've been in here?
Yeah, must have been 3-4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Come in with Georgia. I guess they're pretty good friends.
Who's she?
Regular customer, spent a lot of time in here. Drinks thingers. Rough.
Mm-hmm. You know we can get in touch with her?
Shouldn't be too hard. She lives down next block.
We left the bar and walked to the entrance of the apartment hotel down the street. According to the building register, Georgia Wells occupied apartment 314. We rang the buzzer, and after a few moments, we were admitted to the building. The elevator wasn't working, so we walked up 3 flights.
Oh, man, I guess I'm getting old. Yeah. Makes you wonder how far you'd get without all the modern conveniences. Huh?
Yeah. This is it here.
Yeah.
Better try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Georgia Wells?
That's right. I know you.
Police officers, we'd like to talk to you.
What about?
Might be better if we came inside.
Sure, come on in. Nothing here to hide. Come on.
We'll look around, Frank.
Yeah.
What's he looking for?
Just want to check the place.
You gonna find anything here? I got no beef with the cops. Never been in any trouble before. I want to keep it that way.
All right.
It's clean, Joe.
You gonna tell me what this is all about?
You know a couple of men named Ronald Saba and Gerard Llewellyn?
Why are you asking?
You know 'em?
Yeah.
You know where they are?
No, look, maybe if you tell me why you're looking for the boys, I can help you out.
It's a police matter.
You go find them yourself.
When'd you see them last?
A couple of days ago.
Where?
Bar over on 6th.
You know where they live?
Look, mister, I don't carry no water for them, but I'm not going to blow the whistle until I know what the beef is.
It's pretty serious, and you're not doing yourself any good acting like this.
You know where we can find them?
Look, I'm going to level with you. I know the boys. Sure, they're a lot of laughs, good spenders. That's all it is with us.
We got it that you're pretty good friends.
You've been talking to the landlady. She's all the time sticking her nose in where it don't belong.
That's so?
Yeah. She's hacked at me anyway. Go out of her way to make trouble. All the time, she'll go out of her way.
And why'd she do that?
She don't like me, that's why. She got no reason. She just don't like me. All the time yelling about how I'm using too much laundry, how I let the water run too long, beefing about how I'm not supposed to do no cooking in the place. Pot of coffee, and she's ready to take it in front of the UN.
Mm-hmm.
I told the truth. Boys and me been out a couple of times, dinner, drinks, maybe a show, that's all. There's nothing serious between us. Matter of fact, they both leave me cold, romantic.
Well, then you shouldn't worry about telling us where to find them.
I just don't want to get mixed up in nothing. That's all there is to it. I don't want to get dragged into something I didn't build. You can see that, can't you, huh? You can see that.
Where do we find them?
They'll be here in 40 minutes.
We put in a call to the office and told them where we were. We got out a local broadcast and an all-points bulletin asking that 2 suspects be picked up. 5:52 p.m. We settled down to wait for the men.
What am I supposed to do when they get here?
Just keep out of the way.
Ain't going to be no shooting, is there?
Not unless they started.
You just don't know anymore.
What's that?
You go out with a guy, nothing serious, few laughs, and you end up in trouble.
They ever tell you what they did for a living?
Ronnie mentioned something about starting a car agency.
Yeah.
He had some deal back east where he could get the cars cheap, then he figured on having them driven out here and selling them. Told me how him and the whale was going to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
Said it was the sweetest deal they ever come across. Real sweet, they said.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah. You better get in the other room, Miss Wells.
Yeah, sure. Please, no shooting.
All right, go on. Go ahead.
Hi, honey.
All right, mister, hold it right there.
What is this?
Come on, turn around.
What?
Turn around. Put your hands up on that wall. There. Here, Joe. 38.
Where'd you get this, Saba?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This gun, where'd it come from?
I never saw it before.
It was in your coat.
Well, then you creeps put it there. It ain't mine.
Where's Llewellyn?
Who?
Gerard Llewellyn.
I never heard of him.
All right, put your hands down.
I turn around now?
Yeah.
You guys gonna tell me what this is all about?
You know more than we do.
Well, I ain't gonna argue about that.
Where's the whale?
You guys been on the spike. I don't know what you're talking about.
You want to call downtown and get somebody out here? We'll take him in.
Yeah.
They got you, huh?
You lousy bum. You finked on us.
I had nothing to do
All right,
with it.
take it easy.
She told you, didn't she? Didn't she tell you where to get us?
Doesn't make any difference.
It does to me. All she'd have wanted was a good time. All the time wanting to go to the best places. All the time with the expensive clothes. You lousy bum, that's all she is.
All right, that's enough of that.
You're not kidding. You're with me if I never saw her again. Be the best thing.
Well, then you're going to be happy.
Huh?
That's the way it'll be. Another team of men came out from the office and took over the stakeout on the apartment. Frank and I drove Ronald Saba down to the city hall. We put in a call to the receiving hospital and found that the wounded officer would recover. 6:57 p.m. We started to lay out the evidence for the suspect.
We checked the gun through our record section. It's the one you stole from Hector Pip yesterday.
Mistake someplace.
Yeah, but we didn't make it.
You got nothing to hold me on. Nothing.
4 of the victims have seen your picture. They're willing to swear that you're one of the men who held him up.
Yeah, bunch of creeps. That's all they are. The whole slew of them.
Sure.
Come on, where do we pick up your partner?
I keep telling you guys, I haven't got any partner. I don't know what you're talking about.
You want to explain the gun?
I don't have to. I never saw that gun before. You guys turned it on me. That's what you say. Well, I say it ain't mine. You planted it.
What about the victims?
They made a mistake. It's happened before. Lots of times. You read about it all the time where some joker gets up in court, swears he knows some fella guy ends up spending a couple of years for something he didn't do. All the time there's stories like that in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Well, you sit there and think you're clean. We got it figured different.
I don't care how you got it figured. I'm telling the story the way it happened. Now, you keep talking about this fellow Whale or whatever it is. I don't know. I never heard of him. All these jobs you say I did. I don't know anything about them either.
I'll get it.
Oh, yeah, well, got a call from D. Lightner.
Yeah.
He picked up Llewellyn.
Rose apartment?
Yeah, he copped out, gave him the whole story. We're bringing him in now.
Okay, thanks. Well, you just heard it, Saba. How about it? You want to make a statement now? Might go easier if you tell us. Get him out of here! All right, grab him. Come on. Sit down there.
Come on, let me out of here. Let me out!
All right, now on your feet. Get up.
Lousy fat slob. If he just kept his mouth shut, that's all. Just kept his big fat mouth shut. We'd been all right. Him and his big mouth.
Now, let's go.
Him and his big fat mouth. Right into the joint. That's where he's put us. Right into the joint.
That's right.
His idea, the whole thing. He's as full of hot air as he is. Well, I hope he's happy. Look what he did. He got me a ticket right into the joint.
No.
Huh?
You paid your own way.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On October 18th, trial was held in Department 94, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Ronald Evan Saba and Gerard Stephen Llewellyn were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 6 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years on each count.
Dragnet, the story of your police force in action, is a presentation of the United States.